Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is or where you are. Hope it's good. My name's Gary, CharlieRogerUkulele.com. I'm going to go post the link for today's live stream over there. I like to call these broadcasts because I like them to sound very fancy. CharlieRogerUkulele.com. This is the next couple of weeks. We're just cleaning up book 2. We're rushing like heck to throw everything up on the web over the last year. Some of it was really solid and some of it was a little iffy. So we're going to spend the next couple of weeks just playing through stuff we've worked on in the past. And hopefully all of you will be like, oh, I'm way better than I used to be. So let's update this page and make sure it's the linking correctly. That'll get everybody in here. Part of this is about making sure you have good quality tools to teach other people with. Part of this is about checking your progress as a player. And part of this is just, Gary's running out of stuff. That's not true. There's lots more to do. I'm running out of time to get the stuff done. That's the biggest problem. So https://CharlieRogerUkulele.com. And so we're going to keep at this until we have double the amount of music on the site that's there now. And we'll go as fast as we can to get that done. Tweet. There's that. All right, guys. So today, if you've downloaded sheets in the past, you're going to need updated versions. Alouette we worked on when we were working on the boom chuck strumming, and we're going to revisit that. That I haven't not updated that. I don't even think the baritone piece needed updating. Yeah, so if you've got any version of Alouette from the old days, yours is fine. But both of the Santa Lucia pieces were updated. So you'll want to make sure to have those downloaded today. And then we'll talk about the things that happened this weekend that prevented me from being as successful as I wanted to be today. Let me go grab storage. Right. All right, let's grab Alouette. Let's start with Alouette, because we did this last week or two ago to give us some practice on strumming with the boom chucks. And now we're going to tackle the piece as if it's a piece of music. Aloha. No, not Aloha. Wait, Alouette. Where is that? There you are. Alouette. Who made it in this morning? Laurel is here. Happy Monday to you, Laurel. Bruce is in from Virginia. Laurel's a local, by the way. We had snow overnight. Bruce is here. Sunny in Virginia. That's great. Sandy up northern Michigan. Down is 58 degrees up there. Gosh, Sandy, you're having a heck of a nice spring. Cindy is here. Hola. Lynn is in. Hello, Lynn, in from New Jersey. Beautiful weather today. All of us are starting to get a sense of springtime coming. I don't know what it's like where you are, but we don't plant flowers here until Mother's Day because there's this false spring. You're like, oh, we're done with winter, and then inevitably the first week of March we get some kind of a blizzard situation going on. Jack and Barbara are in from Illinois. Hey, Vic, sound is good. Cloudy up in Eugene. Diane is in. Snow melted. Done shoveling. I'm going to let you guys know. Diane had a jam this weekend. She got a bunch of players together: ukulele, baritone, harmonica, and they all rocked out. And guess what? It was fun. Diane, give us a sense of what's the most fun about the ensemble play. Like, is it the camaraderie? Is it the making mistakes? Is it the great, beautiful harmonies that were created? What made playing in an ensemble situation kind of fun? You told me it was fun. Tell me what made it the most fun. Cindy is in. It's cloudy in Colorado. It's been cloudy all day today, but the snow's melting. It'll be fine. Chris in from cold Lakewood. Yeah, I haven't gone outside. It does look cold out there. I don't know what temperature it is. Ronnie's in from New Mexico. Ronnie, I'm going to let you know. Looks like at this moment it appears that we may be in Albuquerque on Mother's Day. So, warn you, I may be there to burn the town down. Vicky, let's see, Chris. Oh, there's Red. Let's see. I don't remember where we left off, Red. Here, we'll give you a fart sound. there's Red. Nice to see you. Linda, enjoying the sunshine today. Nice up in Vancouver again. Elizabeth is here. Hey, Elizabeth. Been missing you, Elizabeth. Glad you're back. Dennis in from Toronto. Kay in from northern Colorado. Carol in from western Colorado. Sparkling off new. Got some snow up there. And Evelyn in. Had trouble logging in today. Oh, I'm glad you're here, Evelyn. 72 degrees and cloudy in Cuenca. So, guys, let me give you a very brief overview, and then we're going to dig into the music today. I had a weekend of condominium association stuff, and so I didn't get as much ukulele stuff written for you guys as I wanted to. It's the way it's going to work. And so, but what I did mention last week, and I am pretty focused in on this, I want you to be able to send anybody you know who likes playing. They're like, oh, I wish I could play ukulele. And you're like, I know where you should go. And I want you to be able to send people to the website, and I want them to have a step-by-step program. It looks like if you started on the ukulele and baritone tab and started with lesson 1, it looks to me like you got 60, 80 songs that you could just go all the way down, all the way through book 3 on this thing. By the time we're finished with this, the theory and composition section will be actually usable. And that doesn't count anything to do with Christmas. It has nothing to do with the modern music we do on Monday nights. So I want you to have a good, solid website to send people to. And in so doing, I just got to clean up some of, last year we've been throwing stuff up on this thing as fast as we could. And so I want to clean up some of that stuff based on what we're doing these days. I want the entire page there to look like our Ireland section. Like, oh my God, look at all these wonderful tunes that I can just download and play. We are going to finish up some more work with the Ireland section. All those songs you guys wanted to work on, I'm going to make sure that you have those eventually. The Tin Pan Alley section has gotten a lot more solid over the last few months, and we're just going to continue making that page where everything's public domain, so you don't have to worry about if you're teaching somebody, you just make copies and play this music. And I just want you to have a really solid. And in so doing, it'll be kind of random over the next few weeks what we're playing on any given day. You're fine with that. It's just the idea of playing, I hope. Thanks, Ronnie. That's very kind. And Diane says, was not the harmony. It's just trying and laughing at our almost correct playing. Yeah, right. Get together with some other people as soon, when you can. Obviously, everybody's got to be vaccinated, and then there's that. So anyway, I want you to have an experience where, like Diane, where you can get some people together, grab some ukuleles, and have a good time. And nobody has to be any good, right? That's a mistake. 36 degrees up in Montana. Clay, welcome in from Santa Rosa, and Linda made it in as well. All right, we played Alouette earlier this month when we were doing our Boom Chuck review. This is your chance, okay? You guys know the chords, F and C7. We're on the ukulele version right now. And what I want to do is I'm going to play the melody twice, okay? Just the melody. I'm going to play the melody. You're not playing the melody. You're playing chords. You're in 4/4 time. I want you to come up with 2 completely different ways to play the chords. Let me give you some examples. Alouette, gentille Alouette, or Alouette, gentille Alouette, or Alouette, gentille Alouette, or Alouette, gentille Alouette, Alouette, chante bleu marais, or that was my boom chuck. No, it wasn't. I guess that kind of was a boom chuck. Alouette, gentille Alouette. opposite of that, a boom, chuck boom, I guess. Alouette, chante alouette. Okay? So you're going to do chords two different ways. Doesn't matter which two ways. Your goal is to figure out which way it sounded the best. Okay? Pauline's having internet problems too. I wonder if YouTube's having the problems. Glad you guys are here. Okay? From the top, I'm playing melody. I'm not singing nothing. Okay? Play down through 13, come right back up, play it a second time. You come up with two completely different strum patterns. Is strum patterns the right way? You do the chords in two different ways. Bring your toolbox. Let's see what we come up with. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. How'd we do? Got your first drum pattern in, sounded the way it sounded. Jack mentions with low G, you can alternate between the third and the fourth strings on your booms. Yeah, so what Jack is saying is, hey, you can do boom, chuck, boom, chuck, boom, chuck, boom, chuck, boom, chuck, boom, chuck. Probably sounds better to do that with your thumb on the 3 and the 4 if you have either a low G tuning or the baritone, either of those, just to get that low sound. All right, change your strum pattern. Here we go, one last time. 1, 2, ready, play. Okay. Great, beautiful. Okay, so now you're thinking. Now you're thinking like an instrumentalist, not oh, can I play F and C7? That's what you work on when you're new. You're like, oh gosh, I got Fs, C7s. I just got to try to hit the right chords at the right times. You no longer have to think about that. What you are thinking about is, what's the best way to give me an F? What's the best way to play C7? What's a fun way to play F? What's a fun way to play 7? And more importantly, hopefully you're walking away with this notion that as you wander around the internet, what's the strum pattern for Alouette? Down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up, down, down. You know, that's the discussion on the internet about strum patterns. Is it down or is it up, or is it up and down, up, down, down? That's the discussion you'll probably have at your ukulele strum-alongs, right? Hey, how do you want us to strum this? Down, down, up, down, up, or whatever, right? And that's a fun discussion, but that's just that's the beginner level way of thinking about it. Your more advanced, more instrumental, more musical way is, I have lots of choices of how to attack this thing. What's gonna make me happiest? What's gonna make the whole song come together in some meaningful way? And I would say, I don't think there's a right answer to that. I think the right answer is between your noggin and bringing the full toolbox, everything that you can do with your right hand, to this very simple chord structure: F, C7, F, C. Don't you wish every song was just 2 chords? F, C7, F, C7, F, C7, and then, but it's all about your right hand when you're playing and when you're playing the chord side. The harmony side is the other way to think of that. Hey Jennifer, sorry you're having internet problems. You're about the 3rd, 4th person to mention that. It must be YouTube, is my guess. YouTube is full today for some reason. All right, Now, so you know how to play the chords, okay? And the melody here is nothing that we need to work on. So now let's talk about Tuff Uke a little bit, okay? Let's play through it once. Let's look for opportunities to make it better than Gary's arrangement, okay? So when I arrange, guys, pretty much I'm thinking thumb down on the first beat of every measure, pretty much. Okay, and as you look through there, you're like, yeah, pretty much. And then the other thing I'm thinking is when the chord changes, I like a thumb down there. And so, yep, pretty much. And haven't done a ton of other work on this. Okay, so let's do thumb down. Let's pay attention to how Gary arranges things. Because I'm not telling you I'm the greatest arranger that ever lived on the planet, but I am telling you that what the system I use pretty much works, and there's no reason why you can't do some of it yourself as you get comfortable playing. And you're like, all right, all I got to know is I got to know my chords, I got to know my melody, and then I can start putting in chords underneath there. I'm kind of giving you over the next few months. Let's see, it's already end in March, so April and May, we're going to be starting to talk a whole lot about you figuring out what your Tuff Uke looks like, because this summer, because a lot of you guys will be traveling, be coming and going, and I want to have it be something you can kind of check in on and do this. We're going to be doing a lot with lead sheets, so we're going to be talking about reading standard notation, how does that turn into plucking, how does that turn into the tablature, and I'll be giving you plenty of both, of course, but then how do you take the standard notation and the chords and turn that into a ukulele arrangement? And so we're kind of leading in that direction. So let's talk about my arrangement here of this song. Grab your F chord, first strum, first chord, first beat in every measure you get a chord, right? So let's play the first measure. Next one, remember the chord is a C7 if you're singing, but the melody's in charge, so the melody's this 3 note, so you can't hit any other extra, you can't hit the string that's going to make it a C7, you just hit 0, 0, 3. It's really just a C chord at that point, and then 1, 3, 0. Now, the chord changes, so I got to toss in a new chord here. Okay, same chord, but it's the first beat. 3, 0, 0. Again, the melody note is in charge here, so I can only do 0, 0, 3. And then an F chord. Okay, measure 5. Okay, and this one probably should just have a C chord hanging out up there, right? So maybe I ought to take a look at whether I really do want to have a C chord sitting up there. We'll go through and we'll sing it and see if that makes sense. And then measure 6. Again, the chord, if you're singing it, is a C7, but if you're playing it as an instrumentalist, it ends up being a C chord, only because that's where your melody note is. Okay, play that next measure. F chord here, I got to strum it. Again, C chords, if you're singing, you want the C7, but if you're playing the instrumental, you have to play a C chord, because that's where your melody note is. F chord shows up. So, when we're talking about the level that I want all players to get to, I want everybody to be able to play with their thumb, play that exact situation, have their ukulele say, look at me, I can really create some beautiful music, I want everybody to be there. So then you start thinking about, all right, what is Gary really up to here? Putting a chord, every single time the chord changes, I make sure that there's a chord that shows up there. And in this case, it's on beats 1 and 3, and most music in 4/4 will cooperate pretty well with that. Not the jazz stuff we're working on, but some of the more traditional tunes, it works out pretty consistently, where you're going to put a chord under beat 1 and a chord under beat 3, and it's going to end up sounding pretty nice. And then you play melody in between those. So as you're thinking about, I want to try doing an arrangement. That Gary's stupid. What you're thinking about is, hey, I want to start with a more basic song, put some of these principles in place, and see what ends up coming out of the computer, and whether I can play it. And if you can play it with your thumb, then guess what? Then you try your claw. Let's go to the claw, and let's play it just as written right now, and then we'll talk about decorating it just a little bit. Oh, Jennifer's on spring break. Yay. Hopefully we'll get you all week then, Jennifer. From the top, claw position. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sitting right at the end, Ronnie. Duh. Yeah, so you're gonna have that the Ronnie chord, 5-5-5-8. That's the chord you use when you're finishing up in the key of F. That's going to be how you finish every key of it. You know how you go to the strum along, you always finish with tremolo. And instrumental, you always find the high version of the chord that the key is in, the key of the chord of the key, the F chord. That's how you wrap up it always. Now, okay, so we can play it with my thumb, we can play with my claw. As you guys know, when you first start, playing with your thumb is a little easier, more reliable, you get beautiful tones, makes you fall in love with ukulele. Then as soon as you get comfy with that, I'm like, nah, you gotta stop doing that, you gotta start doing claw. And claw does not necessarily sound as pretty, but it gives you some opportunities to play things in a little bit different way. So when you get to the end of measure 4, you have a half note sitting there. That's an opportunity to put in some extra notes, right? When I get to measure 9, I have a quarter note, quarter note, quarter note, quarter note. I have an opportunity, if I'm holding a C7, to put in an extra decorative note in between each of those, okay? When I'm looking at measure 1, I got a dotted quarter note to start with. That's 3/8 notes. So I could play Alouette, Gentil Alouette, Alouette, Gentil Plumaré. So your goal as a fingerstyle player who's got their claw under pretty good control is to, we're going to do it right now, we're going to play this crazy slow, and you're going to try every 8th note while you're holding this chord, whatever chord it happens to be, you're going to hit, and you're going to hit a note, you're going to pull a string every single 8th note. So you're going to pluck a string 8 times in every single measure. You have to make sure that whatever the melody note is one of those strings that you're plucking, okay? And so just every 8th note, pluck something on a crazy slow. Those of you guys that are newer and you're walking in and you're like, I don't know what he's talking about. You're playing melody trying to match my speed, okay? And those of you guys that are singers, and you're like, I'm probably never going to do a tough ukulele melody, you're coming up with an 8-note pattern for the chords, and you are doing a arpeggio pattern of the 8th, like measure 1 F. I got to do 8, right? So I'm going to do F. Well, meanwhile, Gary's playing. Okay. So the other thing to think about when you are doing fingerstyle, when you're putting in all these 8th notes, is you'd like the non-melody notes, the notes that you're adding in for decoration, you'd like them to be either on the string 3 or string 2. You want them to be lower in pitch than the melody note so they don't confuse your listener as to what the melody is. They're just there for decoration. Let's go really crazy slow and see how it happens. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Chord at the end. Now, the other thing that I noticed as I was playing through there was, one, I've obviously been playing measure 5 incorrectly all this time. I'm like, wait, I have not been giving those notes the correct timing. The other thing I noticed is when I got to measure 7, Alouette, 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 I didn't want to put in. I was like, that's going to sound stupid if you hit an extra note there. That's what's written, and what I told the assignment was try this. It doesn't help. It makes it worse, and so that's something to be paying attention to when you're working on that. To be thinking about. I'm trying to add something to the song. I'm trying to make it prettier, and surprise my audience just a little bit with some extra doodly doos in there. Now, we've got this what amounts to a kid songs, right? And we have now turned it into this major, complicated instrumental thing that we're working on, bringing in your full toolbox to everything. And that's the attitude that you should bring as a musician every day. It doesn't matter what the song is. Could not care less what the song is. What can I bring out of my toolbox to turn it into something that people haven't heard before? And so that's all of the pieces and parts I can think of to give you that. And then, of course, you bring in your friends. You bring Diane over. She's going to play a harmonica one of the times through. And then you bring in Jennifer, and she's a professional musician. She's going to sing one of the verses one time through. And I want to grab who else is it? I'm trying to think. We're going to grab Linda. She's got the Hawaiian strum going on. Chunk stroke, right? So you bring in all your buddies, you put them all together, they bring their specialty or their thing that you bring them around for. I don't know if Kari logged in today. Kari's a major Travis picking demon, and so she could go through and create something cool with the chords, and you bring that whole piece of music together, and all of a sudden you're like, wow, holy moly, this is a lot more interesting song than I thought. I do want to take 1 second to make sure I shouldn't have a C7 above measure 5. Alouette, gentille alouette, alouette, gentille plume, gentille plume, la tête. No, that shouldn't be. Nope, that's wrong. Well, then why does that work? That should be an F chord. Aha! All right. So on your tough uke, the middle chord of measure 5 should be 2, 0, 1, 3. All right. So see, this is why we're doing this. To find mistakes. Beautiful. All right. So there's that. Let's switch over to the baritone version. Give that a whirl. By the way, guys, remember tonight we have jazz class. I'm hoping to post 1 or 2 before class, so you might show up 30 minutes earlier and see if I was successful. And I'm adding in 5558 at the end there. 8. Okay. Baritone version. Storage. All right, we won't spend near as much time on this. Same principles apply. Difference is ukulele players, you're now playing a G chord, a C chord, and a G7 chord. Right, C and G7. I want you, and most of you are on ukulele, a few of you are on baritone. So we're going to play the melody one time. Okay, ukulele players, you're putting in what you think get your rhythm right. Make sure your chords making sense there. And then when we switch to Tuff uke, we'll play that through 2 times. And that way baritone players have a chance to play through this with that level of detail. And then when we're all done, well, no, that's not what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is we're going to play the melody on baritone one time. Ukulele players, you're picking a strum pattern for your chords. Then we'll play through Tuff uke 2 times, and each time try to think of something different to do with your chording if you are a ukulele player. Okay, so really I'm looking for 3 different right hand ideas here. And baritone players, we're going to play the melody the first time, and then we'll play the Tuff uke twice. Okay, and baritone players, when you get to the Tuff uke that second time through, see if you can add in some decorations. See if you can. We'll do thumb the first time and claw the second time. Just trying to make your life as miserable as possible. Here we go. Melody first, Tuff uke twice. 1, 2, 3, 4. Tuff uke, ukulele players, change your pattern. 1, 2, here we go. for sure put 5558 at the end of that. When you're done, sick and tired of going through it, you just toss in the running chord, and you're done. All right. So a lot of detailed, technical kind of tool-based ideas there. And again, when you're learning a tool, we don't say, all right, I'm going to learn how to pluck every eighth note. And you don't go grab Bohemian Rhapsody or Rhapsody in Blue to do that. You grab Three Blind Mice, Alouette, Ain't Gonna Rain No Mo, Tom Dooley. You go grab something that's much more approachable, learn the technique, get comfy with the technique, and then take that over to Rhapsody in Blue and see how it works out. Ellen says, yeah, he says, hailing so hard that the clay roof turned, like a layer of snow just now. Oh no, Ellen. Cuenca sounds like the perfect place until it gets to rainy season, and then it's so violent down there. Goodness sakes. All right, Evelyn. We're hoping you're not getting washed away right at this moment. All right, guys. There's Alouette. That's it looks like the sheet music's in pretty good shape. I may make a couple of changes to it, but we'll mark that off of our list of things that are done. Let's go grab Santa Lucia. Santa Lucia. Now this song, I don't remember how I ended up finding out about it, but it's one of these songs where you want to, the last time we're working on bringing as much of our gadgety stuff to, as many cool ideas to it. A song like Santa Lucia, opposite of that, right? We know what we want to do here is we want to make this sound like we are sitting on Lake Como with George Clooney, and he's bought a bottle of wine, and his lovely wife has shown up, and we are sitting on not Lake Como, maybe Lake Como. Yeah, I guess Lake Como is fine. I was thinking maybe we should go to Venice and be in the canal. I don't know, what do you think? Venice, Lake Como? I don't know, one of the two. And you're sitting there. Oh, on the Alouette uke version, what is changed in bar 5? The second chord in bar 5 says 0003. It should say 2013. So it should be an F chord on there, not a C chord. So I'll make that update, and that's the only update to that page. But I will make that update and repost it so that we have that for the future. So you're picturing. Is this my old version? I didn't download the new version. All right. What we're picturing here is, why did I not do that? This business of making this as soft and beautiful and legit as possible. And we want it to just like, we want when our ukulele sings this out to really get that lush, beautiful tones of a boat sitting on the water in Italy. And so we're probably not thinking bang, 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 right? That doesn't sound like what we're looking for. We're thinking now neath the silvery moon, right? And when you're getting this soft, beautiful sound, I think the best way is with your thumb. What I think of, right? But you might think, well, can I do the same thing with my claw? Because if you can get soft and beautiful with your claw, then you have the opportunity, as always, to add in a few little decorative notes of your own. That might work for you, and it might not. Carol says, Lake Como and George's wife does not show up. All right. Laurel says, never been to Lake Como, but I've been to Lago Maggiore. All right, a couple of times, right? Or what's the 5 towns on Cinque Terre? That was where we spent a little bit of time. My favorite town in all of Italy, and I studied classical history for my last of my bachelor's degree, along with a little bit of graduate school before I realized I wasn't smart enough to do that. So I studied a ton of Romans and Greeks, blah, blah, blah. And of all of the towns in Italy, there was a little town called Lucca, which has an old Roman, it was a walled city, and then you can ride your bike around on the top of it now. That was my favorite town. Better than Rome. Right? Rome's pretty nice. All right, let's give it a try. Try to make it soft. Try to make it beautiful. Try to make it as if you were floating down whatever body of water you choose in Italy. Okay, from the top. And if you haven't been to Italy, picture those boats in Las Vegas at the Venetian. You know those boats. You can do that. Okay. 1, 2, 3. You would repeat that, right? But that's trying to match the song with the sound, and I think it sounds really pretty lovely that way. Let's grab the baritone real quick, and ukulele players, this will give you a chance to decorate my playing with your chords, and we should end up with something that makes everybody just weep with joy, right? More like you no longer care you're hanging out with George Clooney drinking wine. You care about the fact that you just made $22 playing ukulele there in the lobby of the Castellano Maggiore. From the top. Beautiful. I'm going to switch to my claw, see what happens. I got this baritone, it's got a little more lush sound. Let's see what happens. Ukulele players, let me grab your baritone version here. Make sure I don't do something stupid. Let me grab the baritone version. Come on, we got so much music. Santa Lucia baritone. Here we go. All right. 1, 2, 3. time because I messed it up pretty good there. Let's go from the top. Ready, play. From the top, one, two, three. That and then go on to the second ending. Isn't that pretty? Pretty little song. And I would say, again, with that type of music, getting that lush, flowing feeling like you're floating through the water on a Saturday night under the moonlight. It's pretty tall order. Like you can do on, it's a little easier on baritone because you've got that deeper sustaining metal strings under there. Ukulele, boy, you got to bring your A game to get those tones clear, pretty round, trying to really turn something into something. And remember, in Italy, they'd be playing it on a mandolin, which is none of those things. So, so you got a head start on that at least. All right, so guys, tomorrow I should be able. I'm planning on getting posted. Which basically I had it done today, but I didn't quite feel like I had played through enough. I'm going to get you a couple more arpeggios. Probably going to ditch Tin Pan Alley week this week to get you America and America the Beautiful. We'll just call them Tin Pan Alley music. And then I also want to play some French music on Wednesday, some more Italian music on Thursday, and I am looking for, I'm realizing, looking through our list of songs, that we have completely neglected entire continents. So I've got 2 Japanese songs that I'm working on, Sakura and A River Runs not, it's not A River Runs Through It, a river runs in you, or A River in You, or something like that. But if you know, if you got a Japanese song or 2 that you're just like, yep, this is absolutely beautiful, if you'll send me an email about that. And then I've been working at digging through a ton of South American music lately as well, some tangos and that type of stuff. So I would like to get something from Asia and something from South America in our roundup, and of course we have nothing from Africa, but I'm not entirely positive that we're going to have a ton of luck playing that music on ukulele, so we'll see. But any event, I'm looking for Asian music and I'm looking for South American music, and please toss me notes about songs you've heard of that you love, or you're in your background and you want to hear, you'd like to play. Don't be shy about letting me know about that stuff too. So that's what I know about ukulele today. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Really, one song is not necessarily beautiful, but really helpful for getting you some technical skills. And the other song, I think, is very beautiful and very lovely. It's also a terrible earworm. You'll be singing it the rest of the day. All right, guys. Thank you very much. I will see you tomorrow. You're welcome, Evelyn. Pauline, good to see you. Chris, you're welcome. Patty, good to see you. All right. I'm going to pull the plug. You guys have a wonderful day.